Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm Ron Mackenzie Lafergie. As fans of video games, most of us have been playing games for years. For me, and I'm sure many of you, video games were a huge part of my life in my childhood and teenage years. And the thing with those younger years is that you do a lot of embarrassing stuff. With so many hormones raging, our brains don't exactly work at maximum power. So I thought I'd go over some mistakes many of us have made. So get ready, it's time for the top 10 embarrassing things we all did in video games. Number 10. Raged. Look, I know, you didn't start it. The other guy was a jerk first, or it's not your fault, you're just lagging and it's frustrating. Or maybe you were teamed up with a noob. We've all gotten a bit more aggressive in chat than we would have liked. And there's no worse feeling than when 2 hours later you think back and go, damn it, I was the jerk that game. It feels so bad, and it's an embarrassment that 99% of gamers just have to live with. But this is one form of embarrassment that can be made positive. Use it to stop you from doing it again, because nobody likes toxic people. Number 9. Rage quitted. Rage quitting is one of the most tempting and one of the most common items on this list. In solo games, this is pretty innocuous. Sometimes you just get too frustrated and you need a break. That's fine. But in multiplayer games, particularly team games, leaving can be a pretty lousy thing to do. Maybe you barely survived a fight and then died to a Teemo shroom. Maybe you were rushing for Great Library in Civ 5 and somebody got it the same turn as you. Sometimes things happen that just make you want to pull the plug. But don't, because it's just embarrassing and just a jerk move. Number 8. Broken something. We've all been angry in games. Hell, some of us spend more time angry in game than anything else. But some people let their anger get the better of them and take their anger out on their possessions. There aren't many things more embarrassing than realizing that you just wasted hundreds of dollars because you were angry with a stranger on the internet, or worse, angry with a computer character. This is made even more embarrassing when done on stream, but that doesn't stop countless streamers from destroying everything from controllers to Windows to their whole damn computer. Hey, if you want to see some of those, check out our video on gamers who rage too hard. The host of that video is super handsome. Number 7. Cried when playing a game. Look, let's be real. I'm as averse to crying as the next guy. I don't really do it much, largely because I was trained not to do it as a teenager. But then I just had to go and see the introduction to Ori and the Blind Forest. Basically the up of video games, and it hit hard. There are a bunch of other games like this, The Last of Us comes to mind, and I think most gamers would have to admit that they've teared up at least once in a game. And I don't mean the delicious salty tears that happen when I 1v2 people as a Lowy. Sure, this is totally common in movies and even books, but there's just something about crying in a game that makes it seem so much stranger, and also more embarrassing. Number 6. Checked out Samus naked. When I first learned of this topic, one thing immediately popped into my mind. Naked Samus. For those of you who didn't grow up with Super Smash Bros. 64, first of all, I feel sorry for you because that game was the bomb, but you also probably missed out on the hottest thing prepubescent Ron was aware of. If you pause the game right when Samus is getting hit with something, you can totally see her naked! And by that I mean you can totally see her featureless character model! But the boobs, man! You can totally see her boobs! And hey, speaking of boobs, number 5. Downloaded a nude mod. If you've played Elder Scrolls or Fallout games on the computer, there's a pretty good chance you've taken a stab at modding your game. Personally, one of my favorite things to play is a heavily modded open world game, adding loads of weapons and quests and cool features. However, one embarrassing little skeleton in the closet of many gamers is a good old nude mod. Maybe you just removed underwear, or maybe you made every character nude at all times, but chances are you've done something. Because looking at the most popular mods, an awful lot of them are adult. Shame. Number 4. Strategic camera work. Speaking of hormones, one thing that many of you, especially the dudes, may have done is used other methods to see naked characters. When you've spent so much time with a character, sometimes you just want to see their butt. It's that simple. This is common in a lot of games. Pretty much anytime a character is even remotely attractive, there's one weirdo who's gone out of their way to see that character's body. And that weirdo is usually me. Whether you're craning to see up a character's skirt, trying to get a glimpse at the goods, or moving the bed in Sims to see the characters having sex, I know. And I'm judging you. Number 3. Whined about screen peeking. I feel like half of the time I played shooters as a youngster was spent yelling at each other, accusing the other people of screen peeking. And spoiler alert, literally everyone does it. In this case, it isn't the screen peeking that's embarrassing, but rather the reaction to it. Because the number of people who yelled at me for it, then just so happened to snipe me the moment I left a conspicuous building is too damn high. Seriously, either build a protective screen to block their vision, or just admit that everyone's cheating. Because we all are, and and complaining just makes you look like a tool. Number 2. Played as a girl to get free stuff. One rather common trait amongst gamers is that, well, they're mostly dudes, and fairly young dudes. And you know what young dudes are way too interested in? Girls! Well, nowadays females are gaining more and more interest in games, which is awesome. Back in the day, ladies were super rare in multiplayer games like RuneScape and World of Warcraft. One thing that some notice is that if you play as a girl and ask really nicely, some guys would just give you free stuff for no other reason than the hypothetical breasts you have. Have I done it? Yes. Is it embarrassing? Kinda sorta. Do I regret it? Heck nah. Sometimes a guy's gotta do what a guy's gotta do to get free gold. Number 1. Gave free stuff to girls. What's worse than taking advantage of hormonal teenage boys? Being one of those hormonal teenage boys. Look, of course it isn't actually a girl. Of course I'll never actually meet them. Of course they're just using me for free stuff. But what if, bro? What if? Maybe this is my future wife. I owe it to future Ron to give her this sword. So here you are, sweetie. Enjoy it, and she's gone. Dang it. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please smack that thumbs up button and subscribe to Top 10 Gaming for more videos. Have you done any of these things? Have you done all of these things? Let me know in the comment section down below. Share your shame with everyone in the comment section down below. Until next time, I'm Ron McKenzie LaFurgey with Top 10 Gaming. Later, gamers.